Okay, so before starting with the practical things of SQL, that how to write down the queries in the editor, okay, that was present over there in the tool. Okay, but before that we need to just gather some information about the basics of what a database is and what all things are there in the database. Okay, so the terms that we would be coming across. So over here we would be discussing about the data, the table, the primary key, the foreign key, what is DBMS and what is a database. Okay. Now, see, if you have to collect any information, if you need to collect any information, or if you need to like write down any information for, suppose say, for an educational institute, okay, and you are the manager over there, so what you need to write down is you need to gather all the information related to the students, okay, that in what grade the student is, what is his name, then what is his contact number, what is his address, and many more things, okay, his date of birth and many more things. Similarly, over there with the faculty also, you need to collect all the information about the faculty who is going to be there in the institute. Then about the various courses which are present in your institute. Okay, so you need to gather all those information. Okay, now gathering the information is not only the thing. After gathering the information, you should organize the information in a proper way so that it is accessible easily when you need it. Okay, if you gather the information, or if you like manually, if you are writing down in a register or something, okay, and if you are writing the information in an inappropriate manner, then at the time of need you won't be able to fetch out the information. Okay, so what we suggest is we gather all the information and we like collect all these things in a proper format. We store all these things in a proper format. Like if we are using a register, okay, we are manually doing the things. Okay, so what are we going to do? How are we going to record the information about the students? Let us take for example for the students. Okay, so if I need to gather and jot down all the information regarding the students, okay, so what I will do, I will create a register, and in that register the name of the register would be given as the students, since it is for the students. Okay, then what I am going to do, I am going to create a table. Okay, and under that table I will create certain columns. Okay, and will give the name of the columns. The names of the columns would be the information that I want. Correct? Suppose say I want the name of the student, then I want his age, then his grade in which he is studying, what course is he taking. Okay, then after that his date of birth. Okay, then his contact number and address and many more things. Okay, there are some more columns over here. So what I'm basically doing is I'm creating a column, I'm creating a table, okay, with the name student. Okay, and under this I have created certain columns which are given the names as name, age, grade, course, date of birth, contact number and the others. Okay, now when I have to feed the information, I'm going to feed the information in this table. Okay, so if there are some 10 students or 20 students or 100 students, so I'm going to feed their information, okay, under these columns. So when I'm going to feed the information, that would be in rows. I'm going to feed the data or the information in rows, and these all are the columns. Correct? Similarly, when we store the data, okay, in a software, okay, in the backend, then in the database also it is being stored in this same format. It is being stored in a table wherein there are certain columns. Okay, the name of the columns would be present, and under those columns the data that you would be feeding up, the user will be feeding up, that would be consisting of the, or that would contribute to the rows. Okay, I will repeat it again. In the same way as you are like jotting down all the information in the register, similarly when you are using the software, okay, then in that software whatever information you are going to feed, that is all being stored in a database. Okay, now in that database all the information is stored in a table. There would be the name for the table would be given, okay, wherein there would be certain columns. Okay, and onto those columns you would be feeding the data, or the user would be feeding up the data, and those data would be contributing to the rows. That would count up to the number of rows. Okay, clear up till this point? Yes? Okay then. So here are some examples given, like suppose say if I want to store the information about the hospital or about a bank, so I would create the same way like I have created for the student. I would create a table and therein I will store the information in the column names, okay, and will feed all the information in a systematic manner. Okay, so now when you are using it in the technical format, or when you say that when you store all the information in the software that are being stored in the database, okay, and the management system which is known as, it is known as the database management system, okay, and now to test this database management system, or to test this database, we need a particular language which can communicate with that database. So that language, that would be the SQL server. Okay, so for that we would need the SQL server. So the language would be the SQL, that is structured query language. Okay, so it is again the same thing that we have discussed. Okay, so here is an example given. If suppose say we want to store the information about the employees who are working in the company, okay, so what all things you need to store about the employees, about your employees? You need to know their name, their department, their designation, and the salary, right? So similarly, we have done it over here. There is a table which is named as the employee table, okay, and under this employee table there are certain columns which are the last name, first name, the department of the person, then the designation in which he is working on, and his salary. Okay, and the data that is fed, it is in the rows. Okay, now see, there is a possibility that some two persons are having the same first name and the last name, right? There could be a possibility like this. So in that case, how are you going to recognize that which person is which? See, suppose say over here, I have some two persons who are having the same first name and the last name. Okay, then how am I going to see that which person, if I want to designate to a particular person, if I want to talk to that person, then how would I say that I want to talk to that person? Don't you think that there should be some different thing, or there should be some like some column which says that those two persons can be distinguished by each other? See, now you will say that you can, if those two persons are having the same name, might be they would have different departments, or they would have different designations, or you can distinguish them by the different salary structure. Okay, but suppose say in extreme conditions, the names of the persons are also the same, okay, and they are working for the same department with the same designation, and now since they are working in the same department and the designation is same, so the salary structure is also the same. Okay, suppose say everything is same for those two people, then how are we going to distinguish between the two? Don't you think that there should be some more columns which says that there should be a proper ID given to a person? Like when you join any of the companies, you get an ID. Okay, you get an employee ID. Okay, similarly, when a student he goes into the educational, in any educational institute, then he gets his roll number. He gets his ID, right? So though there could be some two students in the same course, okay, who are enrolled for the same course and are in the same batch, the timings of the batch are also the same, okay, but since they have different IDs, you can distinguish between the two of them, right? Similarly, for every table, or I would say that in every table you should give a column, okay, wherein you give some name, okay, wherein you should give the column in such a way that it distinguish each employee or each row from the other. Okay, over here the employees, and if there are some other tables for the students, or there could be some students IDs that should be present over there, that would help us to distinguish between the two students. Okay, so if I am assigning the employee ID to the column employee, then I would be able to find out that though the two persons have the same name, the same department, same designation and the salary, then also I would be able to distinguish them by their employee ID. Okay, so what we have done over here is we have created one more column, we have added one more column over here named as the employee ID. Okay, and this column which helps us to distinguish between each and every row, okay, because the data you are feeding in each and every row should be distinguishable from each other. So a column which helps you to do so, that column is known as your primary key of that table. Okay, so this employee ID is the primary key of the employee table. Clear? See, similarly over here also I would give one more column. I would create one more column with the name as ID. Okay, and this column would be the primary key. It would act as a primary key for the student table. Okay, Kumar, you want me to repeat it again? See, creating a column creating a column in a table, okay, which helps you to distinguish between all the rows, because though the name of the person or though the name of the students could be the same, their age could be the same, their grade could be the same, their course may be same, okay, but their IDs could not be the same in any of the case, right? There could be two students who are in the same age group, okay, so they are in the same grade, they are enrolled in the same course, okay, and they have the same name, but their IDs could not be the same. Okay, so looking up for that column, or that if you find a column which helps you to distinguish between the rows, these are my rows, right? So which helps you to distinguish between the rows clearly, that column will be known as the primary key. Okay, so that column name would be the primary key for your table. Okay, clear with this thing, everyone? Okay. Now see, if I'm writing, okay, so this employee ID is now the primary key of this employee table. Now suppose say I feel that this table is looking a bit messy. Okay, there are many things written over here. So now what I want is, I want that I should take out this department column, okay, out from the table. Okay, and I would create another table which is named as the department, wherein I should write down all the names of the departments, right? Okay, this could be done. But if I take out this column from this employee table and someone asks me that he wants to know the department in which Andrew is working, then how are we able to, or how are we going to give the information, because we have taken out the department table, right? Suppose that this department, sorry, not the table, the department column. Okay, now suppose say I have taken out this column, there is no such column present over here. Okay, but if there are some people working in the company, they are working for some departments, right? So anyone can ask me that, okay, tell me for which department is Andrew working. So then how would I be able to tell him that for which department he is working? So for that, what we have done is, we have created, like I told you, that we would be taking out the department from this table. Okay, so we have created one more table which is known as the departments table. Now over here also there could be two departments which could be the same. Okay, so I need to create a primary key over here also, because in each table there should be a primary key and there has to be a primary key. Okay, so the primary key over here is, what we have made is the department ID, because the IDs of the departments could not be the same. Correct. Now for each ID there is a department. Now if I want to find out that for which department is Andrew working, so what I have done over here is, though I have taken out the department table, department column from here, but I have inserted another column which is named as the department ID. Okay, which contains the number, like same over here. Okay, it is containing now the IDs. Okay, instead of the name. Because if I'm putting names over here, so it is looking messy. So now what I wanted to do is, I don't want it to be in that format. So instead I have created one more column, one more table named as the departments. Okay, now if there is any table which is present, then that table needs to have a primary key. So we have created a primary key named as the department ID. Okay. Then we have inserted the department ID over here. Now if someone asks me, now tell me that what is the department for which Andrew is working, so I would say that, okay, he's working for department ID 2. Let me go and check it in the department table, that what that department ID means. So for 2 it is management. Okay, so Andrew is working for management department. Clear? So this could be done. Now the purpose of doing so over here was just to make the things clear. Okay, that the table is not looking messier and it is not holding too much information. Okay, now the another thing which would come up into the scene would be the foreign key over here. Okay, so the primary key was what over here? For the employee table, the primary key is employee ID. For the department table, the primary key is the department ID. But what we are doing, we are using the primary key of one table. This is the primary key of department, correct? But we are using this primary key in